18.60. This is a racehorse and a half. What a race it was. The three favourites have run 1, 2, 3, not in the order we expected. Gay Waterhouse, who had the trifecta 3 years ago, wins her second Golden Slipper, and Chrissy Muntz, who won on Prowl in 98, has done it again.
And Bruce, you talk about father and son. His dad, Dan Zero, won a Golden Slipper when trained by Lee Friedman.
He did, and there was a lot of money late for Dan Zero. Pat Wells kept telling us about it. There was a big plonk late for Dan Zero. Charge forward with Beedman almost getting there, and Oliver still yet to win that first Golden Slipper. She was never travelling a Lingy.
She wasn't, Bruce, and from a wide barrier she was stuck 3 deep. She had 4 behind her, 5 behind her. That's her peeling to the outside in the white colours with the yellow stripe on her back. Oliver on that extreme outside, but Dan's forward. He kicked from barrier 2, Kenny. He's had the beautiful run there, and look, charge forward was fantastic performance. He's gone down a neck, but all credit to Dan's Hero. He can run the time, he's got the speed, brilliant win.
I tell you, I said it before the race, these Melbourne horses, Tolerance, Zetative, they're beaten by White Alleys, they get on the wrong leg, and she was another one. Don't give up on a Lingy, she's a very good filly.
What a day for Chris Muntz. He's with John Letts.
Yes, and Chris Muntz has won 2 Golden Slippers now, Bruce, one for Clary Converse and one for Gay Waterhouse. Chris, just before the start, I said to the boys back in the studio, he didn't want to go up to the gate, and it worries you a little bit.
Yeah, but Johnny, he does that quite regularly. It's, he likes to have a look around and soak in what's going on, and mate, he's a great horse. He's the best 2-year-old I've ever ridden.
And what about the trainer, though? Her horses are tough. You won earlier in the day today, Chris, and today, and now you've won the Golden Slipper on this bloke. You know, her horses are just tough. They never give up, do they?
Mate, they don't. You know, like, as you know, as Gay would freely admit, he probably hasn't been the best, but I tell you what, when it comes to the big races, you want to be on them. You don't want to be riding anything else.
Those Group 1s are nice when you've got the G Waterhouse name alongside. Chris, now, take us through the race. You've begun brilliantly, you told me.
I begun well, Johnny, you know, and there was a bit more speed with Tani Girl and Flying Firebird outside me, and one stage I was going to let them go, but once they took hold and handed the lead up to me, it was all over Irene.
I suppose you were saying to yourself, well, I'll get these blokes go, but then you'd only be able to let them go for a while because you'd have been highballing pretty quick yourself, wouldn't you?
Well, that's right, and like he's done history, Johnny. You know, he's the first slipper to lead all the way. So, mate, it's full credit to the horse. Like I said, mate, he's the best 2-year-old I've ever ridden by a country mile. And he deserves all the credit, no one else but the horse.
Chris, you're going to get a lot of credit now because this crowd is really waiting for you. $3 million race in the Group 1. Congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. Thank you, mate. Well done. Woo!
There you go, Chrissy.
Chris Muntz, still a fair way to come back to what will be a great reception. Well, a lot talked about the fillies and the 3-kilogram advantage. The Colts have run 1-2 today, and this bloke's done the magic million double with a Golden Slipper, something that hadn't been done before.
No, he's a super horse. The time tells it all. 1:8.6. He did it hard early. He got that little bit of rest mid-race. I thought Charge Forward would win for sure coming to the furlong, but the leader fought on just too well, and there can be no excuses. Charge Forward had a beautiful run, and Alingi, well, I just think she was on the wrong leg for a long way.
Simon, the Golden Slipper, probably in the last few years we haven't had great horses win it. We did in the old days. I think today the 3 place getters have all got huge futures. I think we've seen a really outstanding slipper today.
No doubt about it. And what about the First Lady of Racing, Gay Waterhouse? A marvellous training performance. I made mention to Ken and yourself, Bruce, before the race. He might have peaked for the Magic Millions. It's $1 million race, and he was bought at those sales. But for her to get him back to run those times, sensational training performance, Ken.
He ran 3 weeks ago. They all thought he'd run again last Saturday. She only barrier trialled him, and he was lovely and fresh.
She's got a lot to be proud of. Here's Pete Donegan with Gay.
And Gay's just accepting the congratulations of everyone. The First Lady of Australian Racing wins one of our great races. How's that?
Well, it's about Gators. I tell you, it's the most wonderful feeling. You ask anyone who's won a Golden Slipper,
I try. You said he was bomb-proof, and that's the way he proved, Gay.
Totally and completely bomb-proof. He's the supreme athlete. He is totally unassuming, and he's the best. He proved it today.
It's been one of the great days of racing in Australia that we've had. How does this rank up with your thrills?
Right up there. Right up there.
Well done.
Savour the moment, eh? Chris Muntz has won a Melbourne Cup. He's a big race jockey. He says this is easily the best 2-year-old I've ever ridden. He declared the horse after the barrier trial last Friday that he couldn't get beaten. And today he's done it the hard way. Not the best away, but basically all the ways he did in the Magic Millions. He's an outstanding sprinting 2-year-old colt. Charge Forward and Alingi were terrific runs, but on the day they had to bow to one that was even better. What a day, what a race, and what a win for Gay and for Muntz and for Dance Hero. Back with more in the presentation on the Amy Golden Slipper. Jubilation for Connections of Dance Hero following the Amy Golden Slipper. This wonderful colt who'd won the Magic Millions on the Gold Coast. Chris Muntz wins his second slipper today. And Gay Waterhouse, who finished first, second and third as a trainer 3 years ago, and last year was second, third and fourth, wins her second slipper today. Katie, her daughter, with a correct weight after the slipper. Dance Hero winning over Charge Forward and Alingi. So Muntz, Beedman and Oliver, the jockeys. $5.50, $1.50. He was well backed. 210, 130, 14.80 the Quinella. A trifecta that was pretty popular. 49.50 the exacta. $30.30. Time now for the presentation of the Amy Golden Slipper. Here's Gordon Bray.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very emotional scene here at Rosehill Gardens after the running of the Amy 2004 Golden Slipper Stakes. And Dance Hero has become the first 2-year-old to clinch the Magic Millions Golden Slipper double. After that barrier trial last Friday, Chris Muntz told Gay Waterhouse this horse is going to win by a minute. It's the richest 2-year-old race in the world at $3 million, and the STC chairman, Bruce McHugh, said it's going to stay that way. Here's the chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to a wonderful crowd here today to celebrate our 2004 Amy Golden Slipper. And an even bigger welcome to Robert Belville, the CEO of Amy, who's going to make the presentation to the winning owners. But the association the STC has had with Amy over the last 7 years has been outstanding. And when you mention Amy, you naturally think of the Golden Slipper, and when you think of the Golden Slipper, you naturally think of Amy, and that's the way we like it. I'm quite confident for as many years to come it'll always be the richest race in the world, because after today it's proved once and all that it is something outstanding and will stay that way. It was first won in '57 by a great horse called Todman, who I presume is probably in a handful of the best horses to ever race and won the race. And I'm not too sure with the times run by Dance Hero that he's going to prove to be an outstanding horse of the future as well. I'd like to congratulate the Connections of Dance Hero, and without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Robert Belville to make the presentation on behalf of the Sydney Turf Club of the Amy Golden Slipper. Thank you, Robert.
Mr. Bruce McHugh, the chairman of the Sydney Turf Club, members of the committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At Amy, we're very proud of our association with the Sydney Turf Club and the sponsorship of the Golden Slipper, which is now in its 8th consecutive year. This race, in its 48-year history, has become the most glamorous 2-year-old race in the world. It is also, from our point of view, the second leg of our major sponsorship of 2-year-old racing in this country, the other one being, of course, the Blue Diamond, run in Melbourne 6 weeks ago. Before I present the trophies to the winning connections, I'd just like to congratulate the Sydney Turf Club on staging such a fantastic event. Last year we had a record crowd after 10 years, and today's event again has excelled. So congratulations to the Sydney Turf Club. Ladies and gentlemen, it just gives me great pleasure to present the Golden Slipper to Peter Aldrich on behalf of the owners. Peter, for Dance Hero, and what a great win. There you are, Peter. Well done, mate. Good on you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, what a horse. He's the first horse to win the Magic Millions Slipper Double. He's managed to lead all the way both races, and he's broken the race record on both occasions. To beat a horse of that calibre of Charge Forward and a super filly like Alingi, that's just something that he'll treasure forever. Thank you very much to Amy for their sponsorship, and to the STC for putting on a race like this. It's a day we're going to remember forever. To Gay, what a super effort. She won the Magic Millions second up, she won the Slippers second up, and she's probably the best trainer Australia will ever see. To Chris Muntz, what a super jockey. Hopped out of the gates, controlled the race, and took half an hour to get down the straight, but he got him home. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
Speaking of Gay Waterhouse, I note now to call on Gay as the winning trainer to come forward. Gay?
Thank you to the STC. This is the most enjoyable and satisfying win. It's been a rocky old road getting here, but all the way he's been the most wonderfully athletic 2-year-old you could possibly imagine. Chris has had supreme confidence in him, and the owners have had a wonderful ride. To the boys and girls, to Jodie, to everyone here that puts it on the way and puts us here today, thank you so much.
And to the winning jockey, Chris Muntz, for getting the boys back in the winning circle. Well done, Chris.
Yo, beauty! Members of the STC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, well, what a thrill. I said earlier on that the day wasn't over, and it's still not yet, but we're getting there, and I'm just so glad that this horse has basically done what I thought he could do and go on to win the Magic Millions and the Golden Slipper. As Peter said, it's the first horse to be able to do it, so he's a great horse. There's certainly no doubt he's the best 2-year-old in Australia, and there's no doubt he'll go on to bigger and better things. To Gay, thank you very much. She's done a wonderful job with this guy. She's pulled her hair out at times with me going a bit slow on him, but she didn't know I was looking after him. To all the staff, all you blokes, you better be there on Monday or I'm docking your wages. But to all the staff, in all honesty, they do a fantastic job. Congratulations to them. They deserve this as much as everybody. And finally, to all the owners, they're a wonderful group of people. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
And finally, to the breeder, Tony Akari, for the St. Stephen Bloodstock Syndicate. Tony. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Wow. What only breeders can talk about the breeding of this beautiful animal. We start from the mighty Dane Hill when in 1994 he sired the first Golden Slipper, which is in turn Dan Zero sired the only son of Dane Hill to sire a Golden Slipper. And I'm very proud to be associated with this animal. Goodwood Farm again, Kerry, thank you. My family, my friends, and this beautiful family behind me, which made me feel like part of them during all this experience. I can't thank enough Gay and her staff, each and every one of them. And Chris, every morning when I see him down the track, and the beautiful connection, I'm sure you're going to have further success with Dan Zero, and good luck to you. And Lord, thank you.
Thanks all round after a memorable Amy Golden Slipper. The Golden Slipper, you'll see a lot more of that tomorrow on Sports World.
How's this for a lineup tomorrow morning on Sports World? Kieran Perkins shares breakfast with our Olympic swimmers. The Masters awaits for Australia's latest golf hero, Adam Scott. Plus, Harry Kuehl talks about club and country. The big names and all the latest news and results from here and throughout the world each and every Sunday morning. Sports World from 9 o'clock on 7.
Racing Dane Shadow hesitated at the start, missed it a half length out wide. Crimson Rain and Tani Girl is showing blistering speed. Chris is kicking up hard on Dan Zero, closer to the inside. She's in demand, goes to fourth. Crimson Rain, Flying Firebird going up quickly on the outside. Charge Forward is next. Fastnet Rock and Burning Sands getting back in the field. Alingi's well back. She's 3 wide too. She's racing outside of Uber and dropping to the rear as fast to Pussycat. Coming down the side and they're going helter-skelter. Dan Zero's just in front. Flying Firebird attacking him on the outside. She's in demand, is running third, coming out 3 deep. Tani Girl is fourth on the rails, followed by Charge Forward. One going a little wide on the turn into the straight. That She's in demand. Crimson Raiders working into the clear. Dame Shadow. Where's Alingi? Oliver bringing it to the extreme outside. She's coming out with them now, but Dance Hero's the leader. Dance Hero's in front. Charge Forward is coming at Dance Hero. Alingi's flashing home down the outside. Dance Hero, Charge Forward, Alingi. Dance Hero's just in front. Charge Forward's having a dive. Oh, missed him. Dance Hero.
Talk about a bird's eye view with Wayne Wilson's fantastic call there. Dance Hero. How determined Muntz was to keep the inside running early, wasn't he, and keep the lead?
He rode beautifully, Bruce, just to hold the fence and get that guy, but he used the horse on the outside just to save that little bit of petrol, came back and then dominated the race from there. Beautiful to watch that angle.
And for Damien Oliver, it was always a hard ride. He was always well back, as you could see from there. She ran on strongly. Let's see what Damien said about Alingi today.
Damien, third on Alingi. How'd you feel about the run?
Yeah, she ran super. Look, the pace was on all the way, and you know, I thought they might have came back the leaders a bit in the last 200, but they kept running, and Alingi still ran super. But you know, credit to the winner. He was up there on the pace, and he didn't stop. He kept going.
At any time, did you think you had them?
Yeah, look, I pulled her out the top of the straight, and I was quietly confident that she'd unleash her normal sprint and she might pick him up, but I probably needed the leaders to stop a bit, which they did, and they kept running.
Still haven't got that Grand Slam, mate.
No, it's still eluding me, but we'll keep trying.
She was good today, but was she as good as she was on Blue Diamond Day 6 weeks ago?
I think different pressure today, and a horse like Charge Forward sitting up there and Dance Hero, Bruce, clapping on the speed and being able to run those sectionals. She ran Wager down in the Blue Diamond, different kettle of fish here today.
So who's the 2-year-old of the year? Is it Dance Hero or Alingi?
I'm a Victorian, Bruce. I've got to go Alingi, but look, he's won a Magic Millions, and now it's the cream. It's the Golden Slipper.
It's him.
Yeah, it's him.
It's him. He's snatched it from her today.
Yep.
That is what he's done. That is for sure. It's been a great day for fashions as well as racing. As we can attest to.
Been waiting for this.
We're sitting in a very good seat, I can tell you. Here's Kylie Gillies.
Judges in the fashion on the field have to have as good an eye for that special outfit as top trainers do when looking for a first-class filly. Styling and deportment, grooming, and just how appropriate the outfit is for the occasion are just some of the criteria they're looking for. And on Golden Slipper Day, well, what an occasion. The judges have one of the toughest jobs on course, having to choose a winner. There's over $60,000 in prize money, so attention to detail is crucial. Once the final 20 have been chosen, it's down to the final announcement.
Fashions on the field is number 5.
Lisa Smith, congratulations, you are the winner. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. It feels quite overwhelming at the moment, I think, but yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Tell us a little bit about your stunning outfit.
Okay, I guess I'll start with the hat, which is obviously kind of the focal point. It's actually by a milliner called Neil Grigg, and it's actually on loan from one of my friends, which is very sweet, very generous of her, and I think it's just amazing. It just worked really perfectly with the outfit.
And the dress is by?
It's by a company called Fashion Babe.
So did you scour the stores or did you have it designed?
No, it's all just borrowed, and actually, isn't that terrible?
That means you might have to share the prizes, which are fantastic. A triple way.
I'm about to call the girl who lent me these things and just thank her again and again. So,
congratulations, a gorgeous outfit. To race number 8, it's the Blue Haven Pools and Spas. It's the $100,000 race. Here's the tote stowaway for Gay Waterhouse at $23 on a high. I think the crowd's on a high at the moment, 18. Corral Boy at 13. $5 Gold Wells up from Melbourne. One of the favourites, if not the outright favourite. No, So Assertive for Gay's the favourite at $5.10. Jeremiah above it at $5.70. Caribou above it at $9.10. All going to do it the 3-year-old at $8.60. Over the page, Ariante, another Gay horse at $12.40. Bosworth at $8.60 in the market. And Sadara at $47.20. So wide betting race. Let's go out to Pat. Pat, some good information late with Dance Hero and the big money. Who's the favourite? Is So Assertive favourite with the books?
Yes, the money came for Dance Hero late. It was in a 1.5. But, you know, a funny thing is happening down here in the betting ring. Normally after the major of the race of the day has finished, that a lot of the crowd start to scream out. They're not, because they're all cashed up. I think the only ones heading for the exits, trying to get out early, are the bookmakers. They've copped an absolute hiding. But dare I say, a little bit of sanity coming back to the betting ring now as we look here. Look, no odds-on favourite. The one that they have come for with me early is Gold Wells, but it's a wide open betting race in just a half a point. Caribou and Jeremiah at the $6.50 mark. I've got them at this stage. So Assertive is solid, hasn't moved off that quote, and Bosworth as well, just out a little bit, but they're finding it very, very hard to pick a favourite. So Assertive at this stage, early favourite, but it's going to be a pretty good betting race, this one, Bruce.
Looking forward to it, Pat. Simon, you found it hard to pick the winner here?
So Assertive, Bruce. Gay's going to have a big day. Chris Muntz once again. Look, he served the True Glow last start in the Ajax. Super form for this. You're not going to get a horse of True Glow's calibre, so I'll stick with him. Going Chris and So Assertive.
Peter going for Bosworth, Ken going for All Gonna Do It. It's that sort of a race, isn't it? Everybody's got an opinion and they are differing. We'll take a break, back with the horses after this. One of the traditions on Golden Slipper Day is to paint the colours of the winners of the Golden Slipper and also the BMW. And that's what's being done here. Grand Zulu on the left, the colours, and Dance Hero on the right. The horse that was purchased at the Magic Millions for $90,000. Gay got a lot of the connections that have been loyal to her in the past. Said, I've got a pretty good horse here. Come in and join us, and they have, and it's won $2.5 million. So history says what a good move. Speaking of Gay, she has Stowaway, the top weight in the next of Blue Haven's Pools and Spas. You won't miss him out there. He's been a good horse. He won the Summer Cup a couple of years ago. He was 8th first up in the Canterbury Stakes, but over this trip he's had a good record over the 1500.
Didn't run too bad first up. He's going to travel about midfield, Bruce. He likes it just a little bit softer in the conditions.
Number 2's in the market on a high. He's one of those horses that races well in the autumn. He was second in the Packer Plate a couple of years ago, second in this race last year. He won the Villiers in the summer. He's a good horse.
Drops back from weight for age, Bruce. This horse just needs to be ridden quiet, and he's got a very good sprint on his day.
Number 3, Corral Boy, has been a very good horse over the years. He's won a Villiers, a BTC Sprinter Hawkesbury Cup. He's probably getting a bit long in the tooth, but 3 starts ago he did win the Liverpool City Cup.
Yeah, he's just got to lift against this bunch today. I thought he's going to get a nice run from barrier 2. He'll travel about midfield and creep into it, ride for a bit of luck.
Well, I think the 2 most interesting horses in the race are So Assertive and this fella Gold Wells. He's won 5 out of his last 6 from distances ranging from 1,100 to 2,000. He won the Blamey last start. He's very promising. He wants to win today to get a penalty to get him into the Doncaster.
Yeah, look, that's his grand final, of course. Tough win last start, the Blamey. They came from everywhere to challenge this horse. He dug deep. Damien Oliver rode him on that occasion, rides him again today, and, well, going to get every possible chance.
5 Caribou. Last start was 5th in the Newcastle Newmarket. He's been kept fresh. Loves his track. Has this for a record at Rose Hill. 6 starts, 5 wins and a placing.
Had a chat with Timmy Martin there before, the trainer of Exceed and Excel, who's just been sold for over 20 million going over to England, Bruce. He said this horse is cherry ripe for today. 6 starts, 5 wins at the track. He'll be ready to rip. He's a good bet.
You're going over to follow him with a camera, aren't you, for a couple of weeks, Exceed and Excel? Good on you.
Yeah, got some good news to come out there, Bruce. He just released that. Thank you kindly.
Sorry about that. Jeremiah, John Hawkes already had a great day with Lonhro. Second up, he's second up form, 3 starts, 2 wins and a placing. 3rd in the Villiers. He's a good horse.
He's won his only start here, Bruce. He's going to get back. He's going to need a little bit of luck with some speed on. There will be some speed, so watch for him hitting the line in the All Cerise.
To So Assertive. He's bred to be an outstanding horse. He was 3rd in the Ajax last start. He ran 3rd in the Tulloch Stakes on this day last year, the race that Starcraft won today. We saw him in the Melbourne Spring, didn't quite get there in the Kunji, but he's a promising galloper.
He's got the best form after his run last start there behind True Glow. Super run on that occasion. He's a horse that's going to go forward from barrier 10. He's going to dictate the race and be very hard to beat. He's a fit horse when you look at him in the yard.
Has Chris Muntz and Gay Waterhouse. All going to do it, the 3-year-old. His best win was at Newcastle in the Spring Stakes. He beaten the Yellow on that occasion. Now Yellow's one of the favourites for the Derby next week. 5th in the Farlap was a good run last start.
Yeah, and he didn't have the best of luck either, this horse. And Kevy Moses, we just caught up with Kevy then, said hello. Looks fantastic, this horse in the mounting yard. Darren Beeben from barrier 7, going to get a charmed one. We'll look the winner at some stage at odds.
Ariante, number 9, and another one of Gay's horses. He won the Kingston Town at Weight for Age in the spring. He's won 3 out of 5 at Rose Hill.
Yeah, good record on this track. Wasn't a bad run first up. Just can't have it on top, this horse, though, today.
Bosworth is flying, number 10. He's had 2 wins at Rosehill recently and was second in the national sprint at Canberra. There he runs this time in. Again, a good Rosehill horse. 7 starts for 3 wins.
Yeah, hard fit, this horse. Beautiful weight, 53.5. Brad Pengelly. You don't normally see this jockey ride this weight, folks, so horse must have been going pretty good on track work, Bruce. Very good chance.
And Sadara's a stayer who won the Christmas Cup over the Christmas period. He's come back from a spell. First up's got a good record, 6 starts, 2 wins, 2 placings, and not bad over 1,500 either.
Yeah, about time Corey Brown pulled a rabbit out of the rabbit out of his hat and got a winner, but he's going to struggle on this horse today. As you said, he has got a bit of form, but I just think he might be out of his depth.
Look, it's a good field. It's a good even field. Probably looking for a standout. Maybe a Gold Wells or a So Assertive will jump up today. Who are you tipping?
So Assertive, Chris and Gay. They're on a high and they'll continue that fly, Bruce.
Well, Peter's going for Bosworth and Ken's going for All Gonna Do It. So good luck. We'll be back with the Blue Haven Pools and Spas after this. The Optus helicopter shot looking down on Rosehill today. What drama we've seen. Some great racing. One of the best days in recent memory. And with the Blue Haven Pools and Spas to come on our telecast. $100,000 race. Betting interesting here. So Assertive probably favourite the last time we spoke with Paddy Welsh in the bookmakers rings. But there were a lot of chances here. Pat, have they sorted one out?
Out Gold Wells will start favourite in this race, although Jeremiah has been back late. I'm still waiting for Simon Marshall's money. So Assertive out a couple of points to a point over the each-way line, but Jeremiah in half a point over the each-way line. Gold Wells, I've got Gold Wells at this stage at about $4.60 and has been pretty heavily backed in the last 20 minutes or so. Gold Wells will start favourite in what has been a very keen betting race.
He's about 460 on the tote too, so he's about spot on at the moment. As we see the totes going through, John Letts behind the barrier. John, you know Gold Wells, you've seen him in Melbourne, and So Assertive you would have seen in Melbourne in the spring as well. They're the two that are most in question. Can you pick a favourite amongst the two on looks?
Well, Bruce, Gold Wells is very well turned out by Danny O'Brien and Damien Oliver to ride, of course. And So Assertive, well, the Gay Waterhouse horses, they look magnificent. And gee, what a run her and Chris Muntz are having today. But out of the two, look, I do like Gold Wells a bit, Bruce, but there's a horse here that really did catch my eye. Number 5, a horse called Caribou. The Tim Martin stable. Gee, he looked very, very well. And of course, we know the owner, Nick Morotis, had Might and Power and Exceed and Excel. So there might be a little bit of that rubbing off, a little bit of that luck rubbing off. But just from over here, Bruce, I do like number 4, Gold Wells. But gee, I think if you're going to have something each way, Caribou, I don't think you'll be disappointed in the way he runs.
Well, he's had 6 starts at Rosehill for 5 wins. Really quickly, let's see. Chris Muntz is on So Assertive. Is it hard for a jockey to come off a massive win like that and ride in the next race?
He's very professional, though. He's around here. He's very cool, calm, relaxed. You know, we did see Damien Oliver. I did watch Damien when he won on the filly earlier in the day, and Darren Beaton, of course, on Lonhro. Professional jockeys. They just come around here, Bruce. They treat the next race as the last one that they rode in. So they're professional. They're very relaxed, and these boys, they're doing it every day of the week.
Thanks, John. Thanks for your help again today. We'll get your interview with the jockey after this race. About 1 to come up. So for the final time today, you've had a great day, Wayne, a great day of calling. Let's go up to Wayne Wilson in the broadcaster's box.
Thank you, Bruce. Coming up into the gates now for the last race, or the last race of our telecast. And here's Saradar in those very unusual colours, blue with the white spots and a yellow sash. Been 2 good goes here. Gold Wells and also for Jeremiah. I was interested in Pat's reports. Pat from the betting ring saying I've got it at $4.50. I think he might have been putting his money in one of the bags today. I hope not, because the favourites have been